What is the RV dream? The name of my channel is Living the RV Dream with Time Traveler 2, sorry. From what I've seen over the years and from what people have talked to me about, most have in their minds buying a big fancy motorhome and traveling all over the country and becoming free of mortgages and this, that, and the other. That's the RV dream. But that really is a dream because that's not what RVing is. For one thing, most people can't afford a great big motorhome. They can run into the millions of dollars. These big Prevos you see driving around, they are worth a lot of money. Now, you don't have to have something that big, but the average person is spending probably $150,000 to $200,000 to buy a luxury motorhome. That's a lot of money, and it depletes. It goes down immediately the second you drive off the lot when you've bought it. So that's one thing. The other thing is that you can't just go out on the highway and drive wherever you want to go and think that everything's going to be jolly. That isn't what happens. There's weather. Driving can be tedious. Campgrounds can be crowded. They cannot be what they say they are. You get camped in a spot and you have kids running across your site and pets and dogs barking at night, and all sorts of things can happen. So you're not as free when RVing as you think you are. However, after you've done it for a while, which is what my husband and I have done, you learn how to avoid all those pitfalls, or the majority of them. So you need to be realistic in your choices. If you choose an RV that's too big, you're going to have trouble driving it. If you choose one that's too small, you're going to be uncomfortable in it. If you choose one that's cheap, you're going to be fixing it all the time. If you choose one that's expensive, well, you'll be fixing it all the time, because the truth about RVs is that they deteriorate rapidly and there's always something breaking. I went on a trip on a beautiful motorhome that I owned, a Country Coach, and we had problems every single day of that trip. And to top it off, my husband somehow hit one of those cones that they put out for construction, and he had forgotten to pull the steps in, knocked the steps right off of the RV. Fortunately, we had a ladder with us, and we made do with the ladder until we could get to a repair shop. It cost us a couple $100, but we got new electric steps. All kinds of things happen. It's an adventure. If you look at it as an adventure and don't expect it to be perfect, you'll be fine. But you want to make sure that you don't set your hopes too high for RVing, because while it is a lot of fun and it takes you to interesting places and you get to meet interesting people, and you are to an extent free when you're out there, especially if you turn off your cell phone. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to travel, but you have to be realistic about it. We sold a motorhome to a couple with a little girl, and their first day out, they were roasting to death. And they called us up and they said the refrigerator isn't staying cold and we're miserable. And I said, well, did you prep your RV for the trip? And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, did you put insulation on all the windows? Did you close the center door and just stay on the one side, so that the air conditioning would stay, just in that part in a smaller area? Did you block your vents so that the heat wouldn't go out the top of the window? They hadn't done any of that. I said, well, that's what you need to do. And also, you need to not drive in the hottest part of the day in a hot part of the country. I mean, this is common sense. That's the bottom line of a lot of it. You have to use your common sense when planning your trips. And if you're not sure of something, don't do it. It's that simple. I have a subscribe button. I hope that you will press it. I'm looking for subscribers, and I'm relatively new to YouTube, and I'm hoping that the information I'm providing to people is something that will help them a lot. I've been writing on Hub Pages for 8 years. I've had almost 5.5 million people read my articles, and that tells me that people are pretty happy with them, and I'm hoping you'll be happy with my videos too. So hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.